welcome to Learn with Healing Motions. Myself, Dr. Jagriti. Hi, everyone. Today, in the part two of this series, uh, I'm going to discuss the nature of psychology. In this video, we will cover nature of psychology as a bioscience, as a social science, as a pure science, and also along with this, the eclectic approach of modern psychology. Now, first of all, we will discuss psychology as a bioscience. We all know that psychology is a science. Two things are required which make any subject a science. That is a set of values and the methods with which we are collecting the data and analyzing the data and journalizing the principles. So these two things especially make any subject a science. Along with this, there are a few many things that when we call any subject a science, there should be objectivity, there should be accuracy in data collection, there should be skepticism and open-mindedness, and one more quality is required, that is prediction. When we call any subject a science, at least uh, we can predict the uh, concepts and we can predict the results related to that in a scientific manner. And universality in data collection, in a scoring system, in analysis, all this should be there. So all these things together make any subject a science. Now, when we talk specifically about that, why psychology is a bioscience. So, biology, that is physiological basis of behavior, that is genes, hormones, all these terms come to our mind. In psychology, we study behavior, and we know that behavior gets influenced with genes, hormonal activity, other physiological bases such as nervous system, our endocrine system. So all this together somewhere influence behavior. First of all, we will discuss that how genes influence behavior. Look, this is a genetic structure of any individual which he receives from his parents or grandparents. So that determine behavior. And hormones also have very strong impact on our emotions. Sometimes, usually, what we feel that we are feeling depressed without any reason, or we are in the mood of euphrasia, we are feeling very happy without any reason. All this may be due to change in hormones during pregnancy, during different developmental stages. It is said that particular development stage is characterized by mood swings, और हमारे कुछ मन में बदलाव होते हैं, हमारे डिप्रेशन होता है, या हम अचानक बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं। तो ये सारी चीज़ें कहीं हार्मोनल चेंजेस की वजह से होती हैं। और इसी तरह हमारा नर्वस सिस्टम होता है। वी नो दैट इट इज़ डिवाइडेड इनटू टू, दैट इज central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system comprises of brain and spinal cord, and we know the utility of brain in behavior. Brain and behavior are directly related, so we cannot ignore the significance of nervous system also in behavior. And sympathetic, parasympathetic, which are part of peripheral nervous system, that activates basically in emergency situation, and we decide to either flight or fight in emergency situation. That is due to nervous system only. So there is a physiological basis of behavior. And we also can say that psychology is very much influenced with Darwin theory also, Darwin's evolutionary theory, that what behavior is we see what behavior we are doing today. It's not all that occurred in one day only. It's a process, and it's an evolution process through which humans are behaving in such a manner in which they are behaving um, these days, or in modern days, or right now. So that also somewhere make psychology a bioscience, and not only just are these things, but uh, emotions, learning, memory, cognition, and all this have physiological basis. And even we have mental illness or mental disorders in which our behavior gets drastically changed. That is also influenced by biology or physiology too much. So all these together, indicate that somewhere psychology is a bioscience. It's influenced with bioscience. Now we will discuss psychology as a social science. As Aristotle said that man is a social animal, we all know we cannot live in isolation. And being a member of society, we sometimes get influenced with society, and not only this, we also influence society. This is a process that goes vice versa. We both somewhere influence each other, and this is the reason that the change in behavior and the change in society is so rapid. So psychology deals with human behavior and its experience in the context of their society and culture. We see there are different culture, different society, and individuals in different society and different culture behave differently, which we call individual difference in psychology. So these communities, cultures, physical environment around us, all these have a great impact on us, on our behavior. So psychology is also studied as a social science. And now coming to the psychology as a natural or pure science. Look, any of the sciences, as we have discussed earlier, physics, chemistry, biology, that deals with either matter, energy, or their interactions and transformations, they all have one thing common. They all are objective in measures, they all have accuracy, they all have the quality of prediction, they have skepticism, they are following the open-mindedness, that is, the facts can be verified again and again. So all these together make psychology a science, and psychology is a pure science as it is also based on objectively verified facts and the application of scientific methods. It uses inductive methods to derive general principles from specific facts, and the aim to acquire a body of facts and laws about the human mind. And all that we know about human behavior, about human activities, about human mind, either in any field, either in social psychology, counseling, clinical, in any field of psychology, all that are verified through different scientific methods. So, psychology we can call a natural or a pure science. Now, the last topic which we are going to cover in this part is eclectic approach of modern psychology. When you will study psychology, students will go through different school of thoughts, different therapies, different techniques to be used to cure clients or patients. But when it comes to application, psychology believe that we can it's not essential that we can apply only one school of thought or single technique or single skill to solve the problem, but we can use a combination of all that together to solve any problem or to give therapy or to make use of therapies on an individual. Now look how we can understand easily the eclectic approach. Suppose you go to a restaurant, you order for any single vegetable. You can call paneer tikka, you can order for kadhai paneer and naan separately. But one thing is more that you can ask for a combo, that is any combo available, Chinese, South Indian, North Indian. So we want to have that combo. So eclectic psychology is like a combo of that जो भी अलग अलग स्कूल ऑफ थॉट्स हैं, टेक्निक्स हैं, स्किल्स हैं with which we are curing our patients, with which we are solving the problem of our clients, we can use combination of different techniques and skills together to solve the problem. This is called eclectic psychology. So thanks for watching. If you have any doubts in part 1 and 2, you can ask in the comment section or simply DM me on my Instagram. Do like, share and subscribe. I will be covering more topics in my upcoming videos, and my next video, that is part 3, will deal with schools of thoughts, and definitely watch me and catch me on the same YouTube channel. Okay, thank you so much.